Welcome back to Geekshow Helpdesk. Yeah.
Hey, it was painful to get here today, but I'm here.
Yeah, Jaron had to.
Jaron spent half an hour troubleshooting.
It was easier in the car, strangely enough.
Yeah,
last week.
yeah,
and that's saying something.
Yeah. Oh, this is the Geekshow Helpdesk where we talk about tech, gadgets, and cool sciencey stuff. Let's kick it off by introducing our panelists. He's looking a little frustrated, but he's here. He's Jaron.
Hey, I'm Jaron. I ate a pizza with blackberries on it today.
Is it good?
No.
I mean, it's gluten-free. How can it be?
No.
It's gluten-free, right?
It was not a dessert pizza.
Oh,
Who
yeah.
made it?
All of your pizza sucks because it's gluten-free.
Frankly,
No
it was an
wonder.
accident. I thought I ordered one pizza, but I said the wrong weirdo Italian name, and I ordered the pizza with blackberries on it. And then I had tech issues. It's
You're
a
like,
day,
these-
guys.
These olives look weird. They're kind of bumpy.
These olives are
Why are
very
these olives
strange.
so juicy?
Yum.
All right. Well, we're glad you're here.
Thank you.
All right. It's Owen.
Hey, everybody. Follow me on Twitter at TechNoan or on Blue Sky. I'm not really on there much, but that's it.
There you go. And we have Lando.
Hey, it's Lando. I am happy to be here on the podcast tonight with you. Thank you for listening, dear listener. And on another note, we have a host. His name's Tony.
It's me. Check me out on Twitter at QuadTTony, Blue Sky at QuadT, or on other Geek Show podcasts. I was on the Space Show this last week, and I'm
I
going to
like
be
the
on
Space
again
Show
next
show,
week.
by the way.
How was
Yeah,
the Space
it's
Show
fun.
show? Was that fun?
It's a good time. It's a good
Right on.
time. It's usually just Carrie and Rebecca doing awesome stuff with Star Trek, but I had some free time and they invited me on, so there we were. All right. Let's see. Do we have any emails?
Yeah, we got 3.
Oh no,
Nice, Tony. Smooth.
that's the wrong one.
And now you have to turn
You're
it down.
supposed to play
'cause it
that with it
plays the
first,
whole-
Tony.
Yeah, I was supposed
Future
to.
you's
play
going to be
it
upset about
first.
that, by the way.
Dang it, future. Dang it, me. Sorry, future me.
There you go.
All right. Well, hang on a sec.
Now we got to wait for it. Anybody do anything fun today? Oh, there we go.
Just do them all.
We'll just
You
throw
did
them
it.
in there. It's fine.
Press all the random buttons.
Email.
Hey, do you guys remember Chris Cushley?
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. Is
He's
he
a
our
friend.
friend from over the pond?
Indeed.
Yeah, he's
he
written in
is.
a few times. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, he wrote in again. I'm so glad he's listening
back.
still. He said, "Hey guys," and Ling.
And
I think
Lane.
you're just part of guys, Lando. You've graduated.
Just part of
from-
guys.
You've
Yeah.
graduated from Lawrence
Well,
or
how about-
Ludwig or whatever your name is. and
How
now
about
you're,
that, man? Do you feel good? Anyway.
Oh, you
I'll
should have
take
seen
it, I
Lando's
guess.
expression. It was gold. Watch
You
it
can
on
if you
YouTube.
watch it on YouTube. Yeah.
Yep. Just listen to your episode where a fellow listener asked about routers. I recently got a new one, so I thought I'd offer some info. I went from a Ubiquiti AP to a TP-Link Deco 20 mesh system. It's
Oh.
It comes with 3 nodes that you can place over your home. One node needs to be the hardwired, the other 2 join its network via Wi-Fi. So just need power. The app walks you through the whole process step by step, so it's very user-friendly. It's Wi-Fi 6, so the speed is really cool. Really good, I mean. It can operate in router mode and handle DHCP, or it can be used in AP mode if you already have the rest covered. I have
That's
a
nice.
PF-Sense firewall doing all that, so mine is in AP mode.
Oh, this
Right
guy
on.
got the
That's
PF Sense
awesome.
going.
I
huh?
like this guy already.
Good for him. Good for you, Chris.
I wish
Even
I was
has-
that cool for my home
I don't
network.
even do that. I'm lazy.
I'm lazy. I have a device. I've been meaning to. I just a lot of work.
It even has parental controls if it's in router mode and can be managed via the app remotely. And even rebooted remotely if you need to. It was only 180 pounds.
Yeah.
Don't know what this is in your Monopoly money. I'll let you convert it. Let's say
Close to that, probably.
There it is.
180 pounds.
The one that he's talking about, I think I see usually for around $200
Yeah, $200.
for that 3-pack.
That's pretty well, yeah.
Yeah. it's not
As for
too
rebooting
crazy.
your router regularly, mine doesn't get rebooted ever unless something is
Yeah.
wrong with it. Haha! So he just
I
validated
win.
us. Unless something is wrong with it.
No, yeah, exactly. Unless something's wrong with them, that's fine.
Well, guess
what?
what?
The problem
Rebooting-
is Tony's
guess
like,
what?
I
Guess
program
what?
mine to do it every day.
No, that was Jaron. I do it weekly.
I do it weekly
whatever,
now
same
too. So screw
problem.
you, Lando.
And you know what?
If
doing it
your
weekly, I never
solution
have
is to
any
fix your
problems.
router,
Never
if
have
your
any problems.
solutions are reset it once a week or once a day, that's a problem. You should never have to do it unless there's
Anyway,
actual
my
state issues.
Ubiquity
That's
AP
the
was on
solution.
solid for years. Only
That's a
reason it
duct
got
tape
rebooted
fix.
was if there was an issue. Firewall is the same, and any other server I'm running stuff on. Oh, Chris.
Of course.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's the sane way to do it. The solution's not just, let's just script a restart every day.
Reboot.
I'm not saying
Once
you
a
have
week.
to, and I'm not saying that they should design it so that you should have to. Like that's
Yeah.
like
I just do it as a
I just-
precautionary
it's just-
method.
it's
No.
just good hygiene.
No. Owen, no. This
We-
is not
we
the
heard-
conversation we had. The conversation was this router's better because it has the option to reboot the router every day. Like that's a feature that it can reboot
Just
itself every day.
reference last
That is a
week's
feature.
Stupid
episode.
feature.
Reference
That
last
was
week's
the
episode.
discussion.
We don't need to rehash this.
Yeah, it's just a marketing ploy.
With
They just-
Lando's
they're
really
allowing
high
it-
voice.
They're just letting people. They're like, wow, we have scrolled through Reddit and we see that many people reboot their router. Let's add that as a checkbox to sell
Boom.
more routers.
Done.
And that's a bad solution.
Works great.
So
Got
selling-
another
It's a
email
bad
from
feature and a bad solution.
Johnny. Hey, Johnny.
Bad
Johnny,
feature.
Hey, Johnny.
Hey guys,
You
on
want
one
me.
of the shows, Tony shared his recommendation on how much extra power processor upgrades needed to have to be worth it. I think he said something like it needs to be 30% better to be worth it. Any
That is
similar
what I said.
recommendations for TVs? Got a 65-inch Sony Bravia 4K HDR I remember spending $2K on a few years ago, and just saw a 75-inch Bravia on sale at Costco for $1,500. And I'm tempted, but not sure if it's worth it. Thanks for the show. Both Helpdesk and Arcade have quickly become podcast episodes I prioritize over every podcast each week. That
Oh,
is so
thank
nice.
you.
Thank you.
That's amazing.
Oh yeah.
I'll give my
So,
opinion, then Tony
yeah.
can give his opinion.
Do it.
What about Lando? Can Lando give his opinion?
I don't have an opinion.
Dude,
I just I would
bought-
buy any TV I see at Costco.
You
It's
bought
like, that's
the
a
frame.
bright one.
You don't deserve an opinion.
That's fair.
Oh,
That's a
ouch.
fair point.
Oh, you know what?
What?
Sick,
No.
sick burn.
We'll give
It's-
Ludwig a chance to
You know what?
talk. We'll let him
Fair,
talk.
fair ball. I'll allow it.
All right.
And I said you.
If your Sony Bravia, if your current Sony Bravia is full array local dimming, and you're only going up 4 inches, I don't think it's worth it.
Even if
That's a
it's full
lot.
array local
That's a
dimming,
lot.
I don't think it's worth it, honestly.
Which is, you know,
But I mean, if the new TV isn't full array local dimming, and your current TV isn't, I don't think I would either. I pretty much only thing I would upgrade for is OLED.
Here's the question though: how do you like you?
So here's
you can
my
take
metric.
you
Here's
can
my
take a
metric.
GPU and you can say, "Here's the performance uptick." How do you do that with TVs?
With TVs, I have two ways of measuring it. One would be new features that I decide I can't live without.
Like HDMI,
HDMI 2.1.
HDMI 2.1 was the thing that got me to upgrade
Display
last
port,
time because
whatever.
I wanted HDMI 2.1 with VRR and auto low latency and all the goodies for the new consoles. So
Right.
that's the one of the things I measure. And then the other one is if it's size, it's got to be a much larger leap than 5 inches. I would even say it needs to be over 10 inches to make it worth.
Well, he would be
the
going
upgrade.
10 from 65 to 75.
Okay, so size wise, you might be worth it, but unless the new TV has any of those other features that you want to use, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't bother because
If it-
also you got to remember it's a huge pain to haul out the old TV, haul in the new TV, especially if you're going to
Yeah.
wall mount it and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh.
If you care about HDMI 2.1 and the new TV as full array local dimming or mini LED, maybe
Maybe.
Maybe
Yeah.
if
I
you're
think- I
really
think
so.
hard
Have
up for a
that.
new gadget.
Yeah.
If it doesn't have any of those, no, not worth it.
Wouldn't
the
bother.
the picture won't be that much better.
No.
Yeah. Or if you're going from LED to OLED, that falls under the feature category, if you ask
Yeah.
me.
Right.
So,
OLED is a big upgrade for
Huge.
any TV.
yeah. There you go. Well, thanks for writing in,
Johnny.
Steve.
Johnny.
Oh, Almost. You
nailed
almost
it.
got it,
'Cause
Tony.
I was
This
like,
is so
I,
close.
I wanted
This
to be like,
close.
So
"Here-"
close.
He must hear this all the time, but here's Johnny. He must hear that a lot. I'm sorry if I just did that to you, Johnny.
Probably his favorite movie, that The Shining.
And
Shining.
we got an update from the guy who wanted laptop recommendations last week.
Oh, let's see
Yeah,
how
he
bad
says-
I did.
Hello, gents. Thank you so much for the information. I was listening to the podcast when you guys recommended the G16. Good timing, Tony. If any of you guys have an invite code to Blue Sky that you can share with me, I'll become a Patreon Tech Parent member. JK, I just became a member
100%.
yesterday. Anyway, please, I sent him one.
Hey. Oh,
So
nice.
We're good.
Oh, good, because I have one too.
I probably have one or two.
Thank you, Snake Ripley.
All right. So did it say that he bought the G16?
No, he just said good timing.
Oh.
So
Well,
I take that as a win.
Yeah. I hope you
Yeah, anybody
found what
who's
you're
not
looking for.
actively yelling at me is
It's
cool.
that's a win.
That's a win.
I
for me.
actually-
Huge win.
In
Yeah.
the episode last week, I said I was going to send him a link to some of the ones I was looking. I actually remembered to do that. So
Nice.
Oh,
Good job,
what?
Tony.
go me, right?
Wow,
That's very unlike you.
Follow through. It doesn't happen too often.
Wow. We might get a couple listeners doing that kind of thing.
I know that kind of stuff right there. All right, cool. Well, thanks for writing in, everyone. And before we go forward to the stories, there is I just wanted to promote the. What is the word I'm looking for?
Fundraiser?
Donate fundraiser. Yeah, the fundraiser donation kind of a thing that we have going for Lee George Cade. We've mentioned this on all of the mainline Geek Show episodes, and that's all over our socials as well. But yeah, like Carrie said in the regular episodes, he got pretty sick over the last 5 or 6 weeks and has been in the hospital the whole time basically, and will be for at least another, I don't know, month or two, probably, hopefully less. But anyway, the point is, his hospital bills are going to be probably quite large. So if you can, every little bit helps. Check the socials. We have his Venmo that was created for that on there. And then also, Travis the Pie Man stepped up and is making stickers of our logo now. And the
Nice.
regular Geek Show logo and the Space Show logo. And
I
all
will
the
be purchasing
proceeds,
all of these.
yeah,
Sweet.
all the proceeds go towards Lee for the next while. So thank you, Travis the Pie Man. You rock.
He's over at Pie Man Graphics, right?
Yep, Pie Man
Yeah.
Graphics on Etsy.
Yeah, right on.
And yeah, I
Do you have to put in a code? Do you have to put in a code to do that, or just all sales of
as
those?
far as I
Okay.
know, just all sales
Yeah.
of those of Geek Show related stickers will
Yeah. So head
will
over
benefit
to
Lee.
Pie Man Graphics to pick those up. Is that where we go to get
Yep,
those?
on Etsy.
Right on.
Yep. So very cool, very cool. And we wish Lee and his family the best and hope for as quick a recovery as possible. Yeah. All right, let's see. On to the stories. We have a lot of AI stories again, and I think we should just kind of bounce around on those real quick, get them all out of the way, and then we'll move on to the not AI related stuff. First AI related thing, like 4 hours after we got done recording last week, Sam Altman was put back in as CEO
back, baby!
again. Of
Like
OpenAI.
literally that night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
just like,
it's crazy.
oh, dang it. We just barely reported on this. So, yeah. Jaren's got to follow up on that.
Well, that's it. That's the news.
And well, the old board eviscerated. They're gone, except for
Yeah.
one guy.
Yeah.
Except for the one guy who quit in solidarity, right?
The background behind this, though, a story came out like a day or two afterwards, which is kind of terrifying but interesting at the same time. So it's been rumored that OpenAI researchers warned the board of an AI breakthrough right before Sam Altman was ousted.
Yeah. Their chief scientist basically was saying this was saying weird. It can only be described as being weird, as like saying some bizarre comments and things, and so
The
So-
project was called QStar, and they believe it's a first step to artificial general intelligence.
So my
AGI.
theory of like the Terminator situation of like AI coming from the future to stop AI in the past or whatever was not
Yeah.
too far off.
Terminator, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
He's
Killing
Terminator
John, they got to
theory.
kill John Connor. They were going after John Connor, who is Sam Altman.
well,
and it
they
didn't work.
they weren't going. They were going after John Connor because he was the one that was giving the artificial intelligence a bad time in the future, Skynet.
Yeah.
And what they were also what was also going on was you had Miles. Why can't I remember his name right now? The guy that worked at Datadyne that was reverse engineering the piece of
Miles
the Terminator.
Dyson.
Miles
Miles
Dyson. Yeah, the piece of the Terminator from the first Terminator movie.
Yeah.
Man, those movies are so good.
I'm
They're
gonna
so
go watch
great.
those movies again for sure.
Oh. And you know what? Even the bad ones are still
Even
pretty
the
great.
bad ones, even the ones where the boobs inflate, I'll still watch it. I showed up for that one, and I was
Terminator
like,
3.
yeah, I was like, yeah, Okay.
What? Did I
Yeah.
miss something when
Yeah,
I was a
there's
See
teenager?
Terminator 3?
Oh,
I did
man,
not.
Liquid.
No.
Yeah, you
yeah.
missed something.
Yep.
Oh, dang it.
I'm telling you too, there was the latest one, Genesis, I think was underrated. I thought that
Is that
was
the
pretty
one
dang
with,
cool. Amelia Clark and
Yeah.
old
I
Arnold.
liked that one okay. I really loved Terminator Salvation at the time, even
That
though
Salvation was a lot of fun. I
that
thought.
wasn't well reviewed either.
Yeah. I thought that was a really cool one too. Anyway,
So as we discussed in previous episodes, generative AI, what it essentially does is it statistically predicts the next word and it just keeps on doing that over and over again. But
Yeah.
AGI, it would have like reasoning capabilities.
Creative abilities, right?
And
real
so-
creative capabilities.
So Q-Star, it's implying that it may have learned how to do like very basic math.
Without
with-
new math, not untrained math.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
Yeah.
the difference. I think
Yeah.
we talked about this last week specifically because Google and some other researchers say
remember
are saying
remember
we're-
Lambda, where that
yeah,
guy was like,
we're way far off with AGI. Don't worry about it. And now this other company's saying maybe we're not so far off. But it was the ability to take things learned in one realm and apply them into another realm.
you have
is
to
one of the
wonder,
things that
and you
sets
have to
them apart.
wonder what could scare the board of OpenAI enough to take a leap like that and try and can the creator, like one of the founders and CEOs, and just try and make that coup happen. And like, what could have put them in that position to think that was the only way to go? Like,
It's crazy.
It's crazy when you think of that in the tech business world. That's something that usually is not, at least not overnight, right? Like something that doesn't happen this fast.
Yeah. The source of this article said, though only performing math on the level of a grade school student, acing such tests made researchers very optimistic about Q-Star's future success.
Ruh-roh. Well,
And the board wanted to slow down, and Altman wants to speed up, right?
which is crazy because Altman signed that thing
did,
saying
yeah.
we need to slow down anyway.
He did.
Like
Well,
6 or
I
8
think-
months ago.
I think he believes he has the safeguards in place. And
Oh,
maybe
he
the
thinks he has
board
enough control. That's the hubris.
maybe the
that-
board
that
doesn't
leads
think
to.
that.
That's the
How's
hubris
Skynet
that
started,
leads
right?
to Skynet. You know,
Oh,
Or the
guys, we were so
Matrix.
close.
not good. We don't need to worry about climate change. We need to worry about AI. That's
Yeah. Like,
know.
Which one? Which
go.
apocalypse is going to
just-
get us first?
I know, and I'm just
Why
like,
not
you know what?
both?
I
Well,
need
maybe
to.
both.
I need to go cleanse my digital fingerprint. I need to go delete all my browser history, like before AI comes online, because it's going to be step number one. They're going to be like, that guy.
We can blackmail him. No.
Yeah, he's got admin passwords, and we got a lot of leverage,
And he has no conscience.
basically.
All right. Well, also related to in the AI realm, it seems that AI is getting better at predicting weather
Yeah.
than our friendly local TV station meteorologists.
Yeah, so
Nice.
meteorologists do a lot of fake science. Just kidding. That's
Oh,
not that's
boom.
not very nice.
Hey,
Take that, meteorologists.
I wanted to be meteorologist for a day.
Let me
Come
tell
on.
you, in no other industry can someone be wrong 70% of the time and still be
yeah.
successful, except for baseball.
Yeah.
Baseball is another one where you can, if you bat 300, which is 30%,
Really
you're
good.
amazing.
Really good.
So this
Baseball
art-
and meteorologists.
So that's what this article jumps into saying AI, that starts out with AI is starting to outperform meteorologists. And as you read through the article, that's not even what it's about at all. It's starting to be more predictive than Google's weather services, like other platforms that have been in place. And so this prediction program works. It takes the most recent states of Earth's weather and puts them together and does better. It uses historical data and basically predicts better, like AI does, right? Like that's
I was
what
gonna
AI
say, this
does.
is AI.
It's
this
just
is
AI's
the-
jam.
this
Tons
is
of
its- yep.
history, tons of historical data, tons of data points that may seem unconnected and incomprehensible to us. They put together and make these models that say, out of 3 million weather events, they all had this one temperature flux right before here. And so they use that to craft a more to making connections that we don't
craft better
typically-
prediction models and stuff like that.
And
How
And-
far
and
out does it
quicker.
say? Like, is it
And so
just
it
short weather
says-
broadcasts or long-term weather broadcasts?
Here in article or in paragraph 3, Owen, it says, sorry, I couldn't help the joke. It's better at predicting weather variables over the span of 10 days in under 1 minute.
Yeah.
At a 90% verification rate.
Yeah, so
90%. Wow.
90%.
That's super
accuracy.
good.
That's
It's
really
not bad.
good.
That's an A.
That
Minus.
is an A.
So
This
it
reminds me of
outperforms traditional technologies that forecast weather patterns and also predict severe weather events, which are super
That's the most
volatile.
important one.
That's
That-
super
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Right? Like if we could get an AI that could predict tornadoes, even a few minutes right now, all we can do is wait for specific like atmospheric things. But if they can make other
stuff that happens
we can
right
see
before
and-
the tornado
Like
starts.
I think we have 6 or 7 minutes, and that's just a warning. Like that's a hey, the conditions are perfect, and then and then it happens. If AI could get better, where it finds some data point that always happens when a tornado or something is going to go,
even if you
like,
could get to like even just like half
10
an hour, 15, 20 minutes.
it could save lives. So
Huge difference.
Pretty cool. It's called GraphCast. So
Yeah, this reminds me of one of the things that blew my mind the most when I was little, and I saw Back to the Future 2 for the first time. When they get to the future, they're sitting in their car and it's pouring rain, and Doc says to Marty, "All right, get out and we're gonna do it." And Marty's like, "It's pouring rain." He's like, "Oh, wait a sec, it'll be done in 3, 2, 1," and the rain just stops. And he's like, "Yeah, we have weather
Sun comes
prediction
out.
in the future down to the minute." It's like, what the heck? That's awesome. All right, cool. Well, I mean, that's
great
a
flick.
good thing AI could do. We want some of that. Let's see. Let's talk about YouTube's music AI tools now.
Yep, it's only a matter of time before AI makes all the new pop hits because it's just all regurgitated stuff anyway, right?
Boom, got him.
Anyway, sorry, this cough won't go away.
You all right?
Yeah, I'll be okay. Anyway, they got the permission from a few artists, John Legend, Troye Sivan, Charlie XCX.
I've heard of one of those people.
I've heard of-
T-Pain.
Okay.
Oh, two.
T-Pain.
Anyway, you could just put in a prompt, a ballad about how opposites attract, upbeat acoustic, and it will put out a song. It will crap out a song in one of these artists' voices, and there you go. And it also
and
has another
style.
one where you can whistle a tune, and it will fill in the song behind that, create a song around the tune that you whistled or hummed.
That's one of
is
my favorite
crazy.
old videos is being like how to write a rap song or a hip hop song or whatever. And they're like, first, get an instrument you don't know how to play and just make a melody. That's the first part. And so I love that this is progressing to just whistle.
Just make a whistle
Just
noise.
put 2 notes together or 3 and we'll make a song.
Did you ever see that old Axis of Awesome YouTube video where it's the 4-chord song? All popular pop songs are just 4 chords.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
same 4 chords.
Yep.
Yeah.
I first
I think
noticed
this
that
is-
with Blink 182. When I was trying to learn guitar in high school, I realized, wait a minute.
All they had was 3-chord
They
power
used the
chord
same
songs.
3 power chords for all
Yeah.
their songs.
Yep.
And I think this is an interesting take on with these artists like allowing it, like allowing YouTube to do it, because it's through a controlled structure that these artists could potentially get paid for, right? Like because YouTube is doing it, obviously YouTube is keeping track of the plays, what's being created, what's being
Well, that's
done,
interesting.
and these artists will then get paid as opposed to the random guy in a studio, right?
Right.
Which is where it's really gray right now. Like
Yeah,
somebody
same thing with
creating a
artists
hit.
and like creating, pictures art
Yep.
and photographers and stuff and
That's
allowing
where the-
AI models to train off of those people.
Exactly. There's two things that artists, take umbrage with AI, as they should, and one is actually just the creation of the stuff without human hand, and the other one is why would I let a computer program sample all my stuff to build an algorithm to make stuff like me, but I don't get paid for it.
Yeah. The counter argument to that I've heard is those guys all trained from greats themselves.
That there's something to.
All
I
art's
guess
great remix.
there's some.
They have the ability to put their own twist.
Yeah,
on
there's
that,
it's
though.
different. It's still different. I
Right.
think
Yeah.
Well, and as a if you make the right query in ChatGPT or whatever DALL-E, you can put your own spin on it, right? Because you're not saying, hey, make this
Right.
just like them. You're saying add something like this person and something like this person and something like this. But
Right.
what if
again,
you invented something entirely brand new that's never existed?
Right.
because you
That'd be
because you
different.
can't unless you can add your own touch on that. I can see the difference.
Yeah.
Like, hey, here's my artwork. I want to incorporate my style with this style, this style, and this style. Until you're adding some of your own, I don't think.
So
you can-
it's my I mean, I'm not sure if I agree with this argument yet or not. So take it for what it's worth. It's like something like don't think this is my belief, right? But my argument is, this new career skills that's been popping out is this prompt engineer, right?
prompt engineer.
And so
Yeah.
like from that point of view, when you're using tools like Dolly or ChatGPT or whatever, your prompt is the art. You know what I'm saying? Like you're using it like a paintbrush to make new art, and saying like Owen was saying, I have this cool idea. I want to do this. I want to do a picture of an astronaut in the style of Picasso mixed with this, and that, and you come up with something completely new. Where it's
I
super
think-
gray, right?
Yeah, it's gray, but I think the argument to be made there that's pretty, I don't know, I think it makes sense is that it's like, yeah, you could see that as a new tool, but there's so little effort that goes into the production of
it lowers
the
the
art
barrier of entry.
It doesn't
to
have
change.
as much
but that's
meaning.
what technology has been
doesn't-
doing forever with lots of things. Like that's
Well,
nothing new.
The difference is the jump this time is just absolutely astronomical.
Right.
You used to have to, if you want to train under. So here's the difference. If you want to learn how to do something, you have to basically, your brain has to create its own algorithm on what it's going to incorporate into what is your style. You don't have to do that with AI.
No.
You just say, I want this. And the algorithm that's already scraped the internet and scraped the art styles and everything else just says, okay, boom, here you go.
So
Yeah,
the-
but
what
I don't think
what
the
I
speed
find
at which the
interesting.
jump happens matters. I think it's fast, but it's like something completely new. If James were here, he would make an argument about you still have to be creative with your prompt and like to get the right results that you're looking for is actually quite difficult.
That's bullcrap. Like the cool thing
I
about the
don't
Sistine
agree.
Chapel
Yeah.
is looking up at it and imagining, oh my gosh, it took like however long it took, 10 years for Michelangelo to do that thing.
Right.
Like all that effort is just gone. And
So
it
you're
sucks
saying
the-
art is equivalent to effort. Good art
Effort?
requires effort.
Exactly.
There,
and inspiration.
yeah, there's two pieces:
I
effort
think-
and
I-
inspiration.
I could argue both sides of this argument. I mean, I don't think
I'm with you on
good
that.
art is in the
you could
effort,
have,
personally,
Right now, you could have
the idea.
12-year-olds. Right now, you could have 12-year-olds that have an awesome creative mind. So when you train under an artist or when you train art, you're really just getting what you have in your mind already to have your hands actually be able to do it, right? Most
Exactly.
creatives have it in their mind for years, and they train and try and get it there. Now you're removing that need to mentally
there's a-
train
But
and physically
that
train your
constraint
body.
though is what makes the art great though, because
Not
like,
necessarily,
I
Jared.
don't
i-
think
if you
so.
see
I'm
a
gonna give
movie
you an
that has unlimited budget and no constraint, how often are they good?
There's a story. I think
Usually
James
not.
has told the story in the podcast before, but so I live in Springville, right? Down in the Springville Museum of Art, there is a painting on the, or not a painting on the wall, a piece of art on the wall, or at least there was. I'm not sure if it's still there. I've been there for a number of years. But all this thing was, it was a giant like 3x3 canvas. In the middle of it was a literal McDonald's Big Mac box from like the 90s. That was it. That was the art, and it was like the an allegory about like consumerism or something like that, right? And you look at this thing, you're like, I could do that. And we asked one day, we were talking to the museum director about this. How is this art, right? Because there's very little effort there, right, Jaron? It's in the art museum. It's a big deal. It's a valid piece of art with very little effort. And his response was, this person thought of it first. So that's one example where that's very low effort art. So I would argue that
That was objective.
it's
I was gonna
subjective,
say,
right?
You're right. It is very subjective.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I would look at that and say
effort
that's
is
not
part of art, sure. And it's
I
all
would
in the
look
eye
at
of the
that and
beholder.
say that's not art. That is garbage.
It
That is
really
a
depends on how you value art. Like, is it more impressive
And-
because it was
well-
it was incredibly hard and painstaking?
It's the idea.
Here's
Art's
what-
the idea. Art is the
here's-
concept. It's your mind at work creating things.
Here's the next question then that would logically come up is, will we as a society start to value art differently, types of art differently? You know, so
Look
this
at the NFT
this
movement, like
painting.
we almost did with
I was
the NFT
just thinking about
movement,
that.
you know?
I was just thinking about
Right?
that. This
Good
painting
point.
was hand painted by someone. And this painting was generated by an AI. This one cost $500. It was actually hand painted, and this AI one you can get for $6
because time equals money, right? Like that's the thing. Like,
And
as a person putting their time in,
there's the whole supply and demand equation too.
Yeah.
If the world is overrun with bad art supply,
it might just go away.
Only
I would
people who
argue
care
that the world's been
only people
inundated
who
with
put a
different various
monetary
arts forever.
only people who put a monetary
Look at
value
Spotify.
on art care about the flooding of the market.
The other thing to consider is we can look back at the past and actually see a similar situation to this when photography became commonplace.
Right.
Artists that would take hours and days drawing photorealistic portraits and
Which is
things
insane. Like
which
if you
is-
still
yeah.
see that,
and
you're
then
like,
to know
what?
that even if they are just painting what they see, and then to know that you could just go take a picture of it and have the
And
same
print it.
quality.
So by that
Yeah.
same logic, that's invalid art according to Jared, and because it took less effort to push a button than it did to paint,
think it-
right?
but it evolves, right?
but
Like-
it became its own form
Right.
of art.
Sure,
is what I'm
but
saying.
it's
then
still art.
I think as art gets outpaced by newer technology, there's always that like, oh, the old school is better. There's still people that are like, oh man, I still like to go get my shutter
that
camera.
35 millimeter.
There's a reason. I
film
mean,
and
we still
everything.
teach school because we've done the same way we've always done it. Doesn't mean it's
Yeah.
right.
and
So-
I'm not saying my opinion is right. It just makes for interesting conversation.
Yeah,
With-
absolutely.
Yeah,
with
yeah, for
YouTube,
sure.
Me too.
with music AI, I think it would be super interesting for people that just like to have something on in the background while they work and don't want to think about what they want to listen to. Just
Right.
give me something that's kind of techno-y that evolves over 8 hours, you know?
Right.
It's called the.
It's
You
like
go to
having your own
YouTube and listen to
DJ.
Lo-Fi Girl, dude. That's
Yeah.
what you want.
Yeah, but this is
Yeah,
like
but if
having
I
your
could
own
have
DJ,
AI do
you
it
know?
for me,
Yeah,
Right.
like something new every day. You
Yeah.
know?
It's cool because you can really tone it to your mood at the time. You could say, give me a
put a little
Generative
hi-hat in
music
there.
AI.
give me a 4/4 beat, and throw in some somber mood, and it can be like, oh, okay, you don't have to go find that because
Yeah.
Give me
know?
give me an 8-hour song that sounds like the background music of Blade Runner. Go.
Whoa, yes.
You know?
you just whoa,
Yeah.
whoa.
That's what it is.
just like 700 hertz. Whoa, whoa.
Every
I-
once in a while you hear
Just
a
to-
voice go, Atari.
Yeah,
to put this to put a bow on this, I think in my opinion, Tony's probably hit the nail on the head. We as a society got to decide how we're going to move forward with this and what we're going to do.
That's what it's
Yeah.
going to be.
I
mean,
think there's
that's
two
what's gonna
parts
be.
of it, right?
Yeah.
As you consume art, it's yours, like to whatever. But the argument and the main pain point is that what about these people whose lives are art? Their careers are art. How do they not lose value and their livelihood and everything they have? And so that's where
I
I
think
like
it's
this
the-
YouTube thing a little bit better because they're opting in, and
That's
Google
fair.
And that's
Google
how it
has
should
the
be.
ability to track it, right?
Exactly. Any algorithm used to train an AI should credit and pay for the stuff that it uses to train with.
They
That's
certainly haven't yet.
how- I know,
Well,
but
and
that's
I
how
think-
it should be.
With Owen's comment there, like artists are not the only one in danger here, right? We're IT professionals, most of
Programmers,
us,
oh, yeah,
right?
for sure.
Programmers,
Yep.
we're all of our jobs to some extent are in danger in some way or another, right?
Mm-hmm.
On the same comment I
Not
made last
accounting.
year, right?
That can't be automated.
No, not at all. Of
no,
course
not absolutely not. It's so creative. Find
me a computer that
Accounting
wants
can be
to
very
have to deal with it the
creative.
same
Thank you
way we
very
are.
much. It just results in jail time. That's all.
There you go. There you have it, folks.
Boom. You put
Creative accounting.
AI in jail for its creative
The
accounting.
comment I made last week to the effect of AI is not going to take your job. Someone who knows how to use AI is going to take your job, right? I
Well,
think
the-
that applies here with artists as well.
And the artists are fighting back, and I think that kind of leads right into my story here about artists that are poisoning AI training. So,
Oh, interesting.
so they have found ways to go in and post art out there that gets fed into the AI algorithm and then starts to distort their work and distort the results that the AI is using. And this article's a couple weeks old, but I still wanted to talk about it. So they, they're waiting. People are waiting and waiting and waiting for legislation to catch up, right? Like that's one of
Yeah.
the things that
Don't
the
hold your
original
breath.
the original letter that Sam Altman and a bunch of other people signed was, hey, we just need to slow down until regulation catches up, and and so that we're not doing this wrong. But artists are not willing to wait, and so they're I'll see where they say, I want to say how exactly they're doing it. So it says currently artists don't have many options to stop AI makers, which generate images based on user text prompts from referencing their works. But you can, and you now have an opt-out process. Like you can actually go into OpenAI and tell them to opt your data out. But like if you're using an older version of the training, like it's there, right? Like they can't go back and rip your data out of the training from past like GPT-3, and so you go and you opt out. That's kind of the only things you can do. But they've, here's the company. It's like
here's the issue you run into is it says right here, after AI models have learned from their training data, they no longer have access to that data. The models only retain the concepts that they learned.
Yep.
When someone makes a request of a model, the model generates output based on its understanding of the concepts included in the request. It doesn't search for copy content from an existing database. And furthermore, down underneath that, it basically explains that artists that have already had their stuff co-opted or opted by algorithms are just kind of out of luck because the algorithm has already learned everything it can or wants to from that piece of art.
Yep.
The only option they have is to opt out for future usage of their stuff.
And even then, that can't be trusted because you're going off of what the AI companies say they will do.
Well,
right?
and
it's almost impossible to prove that they did use your work, right?
Exactly.
So there's this new service. These guys at the University of Chicago created a service called Glaze. Okay. And it goes in and it slightly modifies the pixels in an artist image to trick the AI model into seeing a different art style.
Whoa.
And they released that tool to this guy Ben Zhao, who's the researcher over there, is releasing another tool. It doesn't say which, but to help artists even further scramble how AI interpret, right? Because AI is looking at ones and zeros. It's robotic, right? It's reading the machine language pixels, and so all you have to do to poison the training model is introduce something that looks the same to the human eye, but looks very different to the AI. Like
interesting.
And
the AII?
The AI can.
So, Tony.
And so it says, right now, the AI company, the trainers have 100% of the power, and they're just trying to balance that out. So, if artists use this tool called Glaze to slightly alter any pictures that they post on their website, obviously they have their art that they've drawn, they've done prints of that are in art shows and being sold physically. But you want to be able to send that, and you want to be able to market that and show that online. And that's a lot of those free images are what AI scrapes, right? Like that stuff that's like that you want everybody to be able to see your storefronts. Imagine if like walking by, if somebody, set up a super fancy camera like up at Park City in one of those art stores, and like if you've ever gone into really expensive art museums or art shops, like you'll see no
what
cameras.
What you're looking for is gallery.
There you go. Man, I couldn't get
art
there.
Gallery.
Art gallery. If you ever go in, you'll have signs that say no photos, right? Because that's like that
protecting the
devalues what they're trying to do there, right? Because to the human eye, it's about the observation, not the physical thing. But to the artist, it's about how much effort and time they put into that artwork. And that's the value of it. And they're hoping that you want the intrinsic value, the time and the value, and also the artistic value, and that you're willing to pay thousands of dollars for that piece of art. But anyway, so Glaze, go. I think it's interesting. Artists are finding ways to fight back. I don't know. I feel like this guy at this University of Chicago just knows artists. I don't think he is one. He's just like, you know what, I can do something about this.
Yeah, I like it up here.
So it's interesting to see that difference.
All right, let's talk a little bit about. I think we're done with AI.
That's it
for this.
That's
episode.
it. After 40 minutes.
Yeah, it's like we're almost done with the episode. It's starting to be done here, guys.
Yeah.
I do have a nature one about bats.
We'll do a lightning round and then call it a day. My lightning round is actually a review update / correction to something I reviewed, 2 months back roughly, and it's these Liberty 3 Pro earbuds. The update I need to make to them was I mistakenly said in the review that these do not have Qi charging. They do.
Oh, wireless
These
charging.
do
also.
have wireless charging on the bottom. You just plop them on there, and it starts charging up.
Did you find that on accident? You just set it down on your charger?
It's been so long that I can't remember who was asking me about it on our Discord and pointed out that the spec sheet said that it had it. And I was like, what? And then I came home and tried it out. And yeah.
Lo and behold.
There you go.
Tony
So
convinced me to buy them.
that's the
Wow.
second piece.
Silly him.
The second
And
piece
you just
of
ignore them?
the review that I'm
No,
going
I
to.
bought them.
Yeah. The second piece of the review that I want to update is they are actually really good for low latency gaming on handheld devices.
Oh.
I've been
the
I mean,
playing.
give me a comparison against the AirPod Pro 2s. Like,
That's exactly what I'm going to do
Okay.
because I tried the AirPod Pro 2s with the new Steam Deck OLED, which we will be reviewing in this upcoming episode of Geek Show Arcade.
Woot.
And I compared the AirPod Pro 2s and I compared these. And these are significantly, noticeably better as far as keeping up with what's going on the screen. The mouth, the talking of the
latency.
characters, the latency of hitting the button for the guns and things like that. The sound is happening almost simultaneously with what's on the screen to the point where I might not even bother to get a pair of earbuds with the dedicated 2.4 gigahertz dongle, which provide the lowest latency possible. These were that good. Surprisingly, I was very, very surprised because they have Bluetooth. Well, not but these do have Bluetooth 5.3, which support the low latency mode, and the Steam Deck OLED also has Bluetooth 5.3, as well as I believe the ROG Ally has Bluetooth 5.3. But I haven't tested it with the Ally yet. So, but yeah, fantastic latency response with these on the Steam Deck OLED, and I would assume it is on most any 5.3 device. And also cool, eBay has a ton of these refurbished for sale from the manufacturer, refurbished from the manufacturer for like $65.
is that weird? Is that kind of a red flag though? Bunch
No.
of refurbs.
Oh no,
Oh,
eBay
every
has
manufacturer has refurbs.
Yeah, you can buy manufactured refurbished Sonys. You can buy
Even from Apple.
manufactured refurbished Apple. You can buy manufactured
All
and
the
this is
things.
just on eBay. It's all on eBay. eBay has a special refurbished
Refurbished,
side. I buy stuff from there all the time. It's been great.
All my Sony headphones I've bought,
Yeah,
like the
same.
earbuds, have been refurbished and they've been great.
So yeah, I think I gave these like an 8 or something, 8.5. I'm upping them to like a solid 9, maybe 9.25 for especially if you can grab that eBay recertified by the manufacturer for $65 or $70. It's great option.
Yeah, for me, they have a reason to exist now because they're perfect for mobile gaming.
Yep. There you go. All right, Jaron, lightning round.
There is a new gene editing thing, for the technical term there, to lower high cholesterol.
Hey, I sent you this
nice.
article.
For the 3 million people out there who have very high cholesterol in the U.S., I'm one of them for some stupid reason. If you change the A to a G in your genome, you can turn off the PCSK9 gene off.
This makes total sense.
But how do you do that in a fully formed adult?
So there's a newer, more precise form of CRISPR called base editing, and this is what it's doing. And it can change your genome, and they're being very careful because once it changes it forever.
There's no going back.
Yeah.
So they've tested it out on monkeys so far. Lucky monkeys who can eat as many burgers as they want. Ugh. Why do monkeys get special treatment? That's not fair.
I don't know if they
Go
see
wrong
it that
too,
way.
Jared.
Hey, I'd sign up.
They're like, give us burgers. You got everything else, man.
Yeah,
Give us
but
the cholesterol.
they lowered cholesterol in these monkeys by like 50%.
And that's
55%.
I'm still concerned. I'm still questioning how they actually do the procedure. Is it a pill you take? How do they do it? Do they go in with a laser? Do they just change one gene and it cascades through your entire genome?
yeah. How does that
Like,
work?
how do they?
I don't
what
know.
do they do? I mean,
Me no scientist.
This is some Black Mirror level stuff right here.
Like how do they be like? I mean, there's lots of genes in there, Tony. Lots
know.
of genes.
I have no idea. This is amazing.
They have had a few human trials who have already have heart disease, and it's going well in them so far.
Jaron, just sign up.
I'd have to go to New Zealand. Whoa, there's no downside to this,
I was
is there?
gonna say, what's wrong? New Zealand sounds awesome.
Yeah. So
All right.
anyway,
Well, cool.
technology may improve my life someday.
Yeah. Owen, lightning round.
Sorry, I had to stop the annoying beeping.
It's still
Mine's.
going.
I know.
Is your
It's
UPS going bad?
It's going bad.
Lando, lightning round. Owen, fix your beeping.
Okay.
Owen, fix your beeping. All right, so we're going to talk about some cool sciencey things here for a second. Currently, most air conditioners and fridges rely on really bad, poor methodologies for cooling things, right? But it's kind of what we have at the moment because it's cheap and easy. But these things like current fridges and things are not like super efficient. They're like 30% efficient, and it's just terrible, right? So this person named Emmanuel Defay at the Luxembourg Institute of Science and Technology and his colleagues have developed a coolant-free refrigeration device made from metals lead, scandium, and tantalum. I can't pronounce these metals. But it can.
What are
it's
those
much,
metals again? I didn't catch that.
Screw you, Jaron. It can reach maximum efficiencies of more than 60%, almost double that of a typical single-room air conditioning unit. So, new advancements, and they're more efficient and cheaper and easier to run than our current cooling methodologies that we have now.
Sounds like there's no downside to this.
There's really not.
The monkeys
this-
get it first, don't they?
Probably.
But the monkeys get it first.
This isn't multiple metals. This is one metal. Lead, scandium, tantalate.
Sounds
Nailed
Made
it.
from those three
sounds
metals.
tantalizing. Kinky.
That is
Yeah.
crazy.
Anyway, this I ran across. I'm like, this is like world-changing stuff, right? Because
And
we
here's
spend so
another-
much energy keeping our houses and our cars and our fridges running all the time and cooling.
So much energy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Here's
this
another
is a
new
big
word.
deal.
Pulled heat out of the what if you had something that pulled heat ambiently?
Here's another new word to learn for today. Here's your word of the day: electrocaloric.
Electrocaloric. Yeah, I
What
didn't say
does
that.
that mean?
Expending.
A phenomenon in which a material shows a reversible temperature change under an applied electrical field.
Isn't that
So
crazy?
So you
That
apply
is
an electrical
crazy.
field and it
And that's
Electrical-
cool.
And what, Owen? And what?
and it does things. Shut up, Jaron.
Isn't he awful?
You didn't have to
Owen,
do that.
I'm with
could've
you.
just let
Jaron's
me
the
go.
worst.
I was
Owen's
just
You
agreeing.
sounded smart. I hoped you knew more, okay?
Well,
Yeah.
That's not what
Electrocaloric,
was
of course.
happening.
It does this.
about
Yeah,
calories.
then-
You know, a bunch of people trying to cut down on calories.
All
and
you do
stuff,
is
so-
pour Skittles into the machine, and then it works.
Obviously,
The rainbow.
feel it even.
What's the chances of us seeing anything like this put to use in the near future?
Landon didn't read that part.
Oh, sorry, I got a text message from my wife. Make cooling better. That's it.
Not what he asked.
Did you say what the applications in the future were?
When?
Oh, I don't know. It doesn't say in the article.
What are we getting this? Make cooling better. That's
I like
why.
that.
I knew
like
that question
he
was coming, and it doesn't say in the article when.
I like that.
Unfortunately,
I still like that he shot his shot. He was like,
Oh, yeah.
I heard
With
90.
confidence,
I
with
heard
confidence.
95% of what Tony said, and that this is my.
sometimes that
output.
methodology works, guys,
Well, it's AI,
but
right?
sometimes it
That's
does not.
No, I don't think it ever
predictive AI.
works, but usually people don't point it out.
Like Jaron just did to me a minute ago.
He's a jerk.
Oh
No.
my god.
There's no win in the article. Sorry, Tony.
Okay. No worries. Well, hopefully in our lifetime, that'd be great. Owen, lightning
Hey,
round.
All right, so SpaceX. Do we want to?
yeah.
Do I want to wait on that
Dude,
one? It's kind of
no.
timely. Okay, so
Do SpaceX,
SpaceX
yeah.
Starship took its. They took their Starship 2. We got our OTF 2, orbital test flight 2, and they did a bunch of new things. They fixed their launch pad, gave it a deluge system so it didn't blow giant
Does it
chunks of.
explode anymore?
Doesn't do that. It worked perfectly. All 33 engines lit up. This was good.
Wow.
They are trying something that only I think Russia does this with their rockets. It's called hot staging. So, hot staging is where you pre-light the engines on the stage two rockets before you before you separate, right? So that there's no loss of thrust. In order to do this, they added about a 6-foot ring divider between first stage and second stage. The flight itself ended with both devices achieving a rapid unplanned disassembly.
Yeah. Big
So
boom.
so you had both. So you had your first stage came down, started down. I think what happened is that they pulled too many rockets. They shut too many rockets off, and it couldn't re-stabilize on the way down. And then ended up they think maybe the thrust from the second stage pushed it way off course, and also because the thrust sent it downward. You know, when you apply that top pressure, it sped its descent a lot faster than they thought. And so, but then second stage flew off, almost achieved. I mean, it went above the Kármán line, right?
Yeah, it was technically in
It was in space.
space.
And then all of a sudden, something started rapidly burning on it, and you see it just kablooey. So
Beep, beep, beep.
It exploded.
it was supposed to make an orbit once around the Earth and land out near Hawaii, and didn't do that. But they already have a couple more starships ready to go. So the same thing they're doing. They're iterating fast. This is a really important step for the moon mission, I believe, which they're planning to launch with this, and also their V2 satellites. You know, the big boys that can do a lot of backhaul for their Starlink.
Don't forget that this rocket, 33 Raptor engines basically glued together, is the most powerful rocket engine humans have created so far.
Yeah.
Super
One
heavy.
Raptor,
It's super heavy.
the one Raptor engine is like the Falcon 9, right? That's what the Falcon 9 uses
There's
to go.
33 of these.
And there's 33 rockets on there, and they're all having to fire at a certain time. One of the things they learned from the last flight that they brought into this flight, they can't just cut all the engines on the first stage at once because it causes valve hammer. So basically, when they shut all the engines off and all the engines stop accepting fuel at the same time, it damaged the valves so that they couldn't relight when it was coming down. Yep.
Interesting.
So bunch of cool stuff out there about it. You can watch. They filmed. SpaceX filmed super zoomed in good photos of the flight this time, and they released those so you can see the moment where the stage 1 explodes seemingly from the middle of the rocket, and then you can see also like a gas release from stage 2 as it then explodes off in the distance.
Wow.
So you got about another, I think it was 20 or 30 seconds of stage 2 flying off, maybe a minute, and then you see it kind of blow up. So nobody was harmed. The debris all fell into the ocean, where it will hopefully not poison anything. And and that's it. People were ticked off, of course, in over there at Starbase. They don't like it. It was louder than it's too loud. So, but that's kind of comes with the territory. So there you go. Yep. Go watch the video. You can still go watch the video. It's still worth watching if you haven't seen it. It's really cool.
It's only like 2 minutes long too.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's a big ordeal.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, there you go. That is it for today's episode. Before we head off, let's have a big shout out to our awesome Patreon backers, patreon.com/gadgetspot. If you donate $6 a month or more, you get a shout out on the air, along with all the other neat perks that our Patreon members have. And Jaron has that list for us right now.
Big shout out and thank you to David Broshinsky, Connor Kisa, and Wiffle Ball Tony. Thank you guys. Thanks to Interrupt Everyone to remind everybody your name. Be an end user. Rewards, rebooting router registries religiously.
That's some
Andy Bird
alliteration right there.
Beat the 8-year-old.
Nice.
Travis Johnson. Check out the new Baldur's Gate 3 custom tech stickers at Pieman Graphics on Etsy. Jerby, No Name No Color. Keslo, Eric Steinman, Eric Cruz. Owen has a tech cred. Matt Nelson, Mr. Hand, and Mr. Spicoli in 2024. Aloha, it's our time.
What?
Josh D. Adam, Aaron Faulkner, Stuart Lloyd, Joe, There's No Place Like G28, X0, Y0, Z0, Ryan M, and Adam Hecht.
He was just trying to get through that without coughing. So
Yeah, I
could
noticed.
I got choked up there on Jeremy.
Well, he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
I get it.
All right. Thanks for everything, Patreon backers. You are awesome. That's it for today, and we will see you in a couple days on Geek Show Arcade. Or if you don't listen to Geek Show Arcade, which you should, we'll be back next week. But until then, Lando, finish us out.
Hey, there's no need to save your work. IT automatically keeps backups. When your computer crashes and you lose hours of work, no worries. Just call your IT team. Be an end user.
Oh my gosh.